Can you actually make $1 million on Etsy? Yes, we actually just put a poll inside of our coaching community and we asked who had made their first $1 million. We got a full list of people, but every one of these sellers started where you are right now. They were stuck wondering if this was even possible. And for me personally, after selling over $1.7 million on Etsy, I noticed that there were over 20 specific habits that have really helped myself and other sellers scale very fast. So today I'm going to break down over 20 tips for you to take to scale to $1,000 a month to then $10,000 a month and beyond. Tip number one is, I would say, the biggest game changer that I see across shops. And this is raising your prices after you have traction. We all know you can't come out the gate with premium pricing and expect to make $1 million when you have no track record, but you have to remember to raise your prices at the appropriate stages of your business because that will be essential to scale your revenue and profitability. Number two, pay your contractors well. I highly recommend once you find a good VA or contractor who's helping you with your business, pay them above market rate because they will stick with you. They will not feel like they have to switch jobs to get a pay increase. Over time, give merit-based increases. Number three is to start a blog to drive more organic traffic to your shop. So for me, it was my blog and my Pinterest strategy. They were driving 122,000 visits to one product in my shop. A blog also is just a great resource for you to use for different SEO strategies and plays, and you can use that blog to then drive people to Etsy, to a website, to your social media platforms. You can use it to drive them anywhere. Number four, outsource before you feel ready. We recently had a seller named Christina who scaled from less than $2,000 a month to over $25,000 a month. She shared, my big thing this month is I'm gonna hire an employee. And then the next month she did it. And this has freed up so much of her time to focus on scaling this business. Number five, use Kittl Templates. We have so many beginner sellers who started with their own handmade, completely from scratch DIY designs in Canva. They looked that way and they weren't expert designers and it was very clear that they didn't have experience in it. So when they switched to Kittl and started using their templates for designs and font pairings, suddenly their shop looked like it was built by a graphic designer, and yet their skill level didn't really increase. They're just using some assistance. Number six is to seek feedback first and then design second. So I always recommend if you have design ideas for print on demand, test those designs in Facebook groups to really ensure that your customer likes that design. That way you are only launching what gets positive, strong reactions. The seventh tip is to use mockups that have a trendy fit and to update your mockups every year. Last year's mockups will age your listings. They will. So I would recommend updating your mockups annually to have that modern appeal. It's not just the background. It's not just the hairstyle or the accessories, but it's often the fit of that apparel. In the past, it might have been more of a cropped fit or like cuffing the sleeves or like an off the shoulder fit. A modern fit is actually a lot more oversized, where someone who would normally wear small is now wearing a large or an extra large. So having up-to-date fits in your mockups is so important. The eighth tip is to use micro influencers. And you could do this through something like Stack Influence, where you are giving product in exchange for the content, but even like a $25 reel from a micro influencer, they have less than 100,000 followers, but these small creators can actually double your sales when you are just starting out. So I'd always recommend working with more influencers that have smaller followings and working with multiple of them versus working with one big influencer. It will expose you to different audiences and it also spreads the risk of that investment. Number nine is to reuse high performing listing shells. Never, ever delete a sold out listing. This is great for vintage or physical products or print on demand listings you no longer sell. But if you have a listing with a strong revenue history behind it, you always want to reuse that listing shell for a new listing in the future. Number 10 is to remember that Pinterest SEO compounds. So we want to be using the same Pinterest strategy that we'd be using for blogging. And this snowballs your traffic significantly when it comes to e-commerce and Etsy. Remember, if your listings aren't optimized for Pinterest, it's a waste of your time. Tip number 11 is to have a dynamic product mix. We call our framework the 7 types of products, but you really need different listings that have different purposes. The one type of product we talk about on YouTube is a loss leader. Without loss leaders, it's going to be a long road ahead. It's about getting people in the door and increasing order velocity which then improves your shop quality score and helps your other listings rank higher. Number 12 is to design for affluent customers. Look at people who have higher discretionary income. Look at people who are spending on expensive hobbies and activities. Think equestrian, think Lululemon, think Aloe, think Nordstrom, think sailing, think golf, right? All of those things are expensive. That's who you want to target. Number 13 is to reinvest in better photography. Our $1 million sellers, they all have invested in branded photography. It can be as simple as a $200 brand photo shoot. This can seriously increase your click-through rate and help you appeal to some of those more profitable customers. But if your photos are elevated and professional, you can actually charge more. Number 14 is to combine categories. So this means if you are selling digital only, consider adding print on demand. If you are doing print on demand only, consider adding digital. If you are doing physical handmade products, consider adding another category: digital, print on demand, hand-picked, sourced. There's so many options. A lot of people are forgetting about sourced and hand-picked right now, when those are some of the biggest profit drivers. Add other categories to your shop. Our most successful sellers have done that. Number 15 is to spread out your SEO. Every listing should have 8 unique long-tail keywords. We do not want the same long-tail keywords across all of our listings, because then you are competing with yourself. Take the number of listings in your shop, let's say you have 50 listings, multiply it by 8, and that's how many unique long-tail keywords you want to be targeting in your shop. Number 16 is to not niche down. So many sellers are focused on a niche. Instead, they should be focusing on a customer. For example, let's say you are selling to the dog niche. Not every single dog owner is a profitable customer. Some of those dog owners, they will buy the cheapest dog food that they see on the shelf at Walmart. Other dog owners, they will order that chef-made, gourmet, fresh dog food every single week. Two completely different customers with completely different spending habits. So remember, a niche does not guarantee a profitable customer. Number 17 is to not be too patient with your shop. I've heard so many people teaching Etsy saying, be patient, give it 6 months to a year to see results. I give you permission now to not be so patient. You get a boost in your first 30 to 45 days where Etsy helps you rank higher in the algorithm to give your shop a chance to take off. If you are not seeing results, something is seriously off with your shop. Do not give it 6 to 12 months to be getting momentum on Etsy. Once you've optimized your listings, you should really be seeing changes in your stats within 3 to 4 weeks. Number 18 is to not sleep on Facebook. Facebook is where you can get fast results, fast feedback, fast action. People on Facebook are ready to click outside of Facebook. People on Facebook are looking for solutions. And the Facebook strategy is probably the fastest thing you could do to get extra traffic and sales to your Etsy shop. Number 19 is to turn on Parcel Select ground shipping. Do not forget to turn this on so that that becomes the default shipping method instead of priority. You will make a lot more money through shipping because let's say you offer free shipping and they want priority. They will get free shipping on ground, which takes a lot longer. If they want priority, they're paying the entire shipping amount, not just the price difference. So you can make a lot of margin up on your shipping with that. Number 20 is to use 2 upsell methods per listing. There's 2 variations that can impact price. Don't forget that. You want to be using these. Tip 21 is to use font duos that are made by expert graphic designers. Do not make your own font pairings. It is one of the biggest wastes of time and the output is questionable most of the time. Use font duos that are templatized. You can find these in Creative Market and in Kittl and Canva, and they will look 10 times better than your handmade combos. Tip number 22 is to have your thumbnail photo be focused on the product with 80% of that surface area. So your product should take up 80% of your thumbnail. Too much space, it's going to hurt your click-through rate. So tighten up that crop. Number 23 is to use bold features in your descriptions. Your descriptions will be much easier to skim and that will help your conversion rate. Number 24, don't forget your banner should show people what you want to be known for. It should show your best sellers. It should show what you actually sell. Your banner is your biggest visual real estate in your Etsy shop. It's actually the biggest surface area for you to put images. Don't waste that by putting your logo up there. Your logo means nothing to them. Your shop name means nothing to them. And in one glance, they should know exactly what you sell. Number 25, do not focus on Etsy tools or Etsy itself for your product ideas. By the time something is allegedly trending on Etsy, you are already 6 to 8 months too late. So instead, you want to be looking outside of the platform. Our $1 million sellers, they're not not getting their product ideas from Etsy. They're getting their product ideas from everywhere else except Etsy. And that is why they become a market leader every time they launch a new category. So here are your action steps today. I would love for you to pick 3 of these tips, apply them this week, and then come back to these comments and let me know which one moved the needle in your shop. And if you are craving more of these real e-commerce strategies that $1 million sellers are using, I would love to invite you to my next free masterclass. I do masterclasses where I teach real e-commerce principles and you walk away with actionable steps that you can implement right away. So I would love to have you there. We'll put a QR code on the screen and we'll also put it in the comments and the description. We'd love to have you there. And of course, if you ever are interested in personalized private coaching for your shop, we do that for over 4,500 sellers. You can always book a free call to learn more about that. Please subscribe to the channel. It encourages me to make more videos like this one, and I'll see you in the next one.